Hello everyone, this is Kirsty and this is my sidekick Chester. This is my channel Graz Gym Girl where I teach you bodyweight strength, movements, mobility that you can do in your own home gym. One thing Chester and I get asked all the time is, why can't I do a forward fold? In this video, I'm going to share with you some follow along exercises that you can do anywhere, anytime that will really help with your forward fold. This is the exact routine that I use to improve my own forward fold. You can see here is me at the start of my practice, and then this is after doing this follow along routine. So I think the results here speak for themselves. So let's start by talking about what muscles we're stretching when we do our forward fold. So I asked my resident anatomy expert, Chester, and Chester said everything in the back. Okay, as you're folding forward, you're stretching everything down the back of your body. So we're stretching the spinal muscles, the muscles down our spine. We're stretching our glutes, our piriformis. Hamstrings is a big one that people often associate with this. And then your calves. Okay, really everything in the back of your body. And that's why this movement is such a fantastic stretch, because it's really a full body stretch. One thing I've noticed in myself and in many of my students is that if you're very tight in your calf muscles, when you try to get into a forward fold, all you feel is this tightness in the calves. You're not able to stretch into your hamstrings or into the muscles of your spine because your calf muscles are really limiting your ability to get into the position. So what we're going to do today is a follow along routine to really address the calves, to loosen that off, and then allow you to get into a much better forward fold position. So before we get started with our routine, I'm just going to have a look at my forward fold before I do any stretching. And I'm feeling that entirely up the back of my calves. So let's do this little routine and then we'll see where we're at the end. So there's 3 steps to this forward fold routine. Step 1 is going to be some soft tissue work. Really work into the calf, the dense calf muscles. Release some of the tension there. So that's step 1. Step 2 is then going to be our stretching. We're going to use a contract, relax technique to really help increase our range of motion in our calf. And then we're going to strengthen those muscles. So we're going to strengthen through the full range of motion of the calf. Let's start with our soft tissue work. Now, you can do self-massage with your hands. You can use a foam roller. You can use a lacrosse ball. What I'm going to use today is a wooden dowel. And I really love this one because it gets both your hamstrings and your calves and is pretty fast. So basically, you're going to take the stick. You're going to place it between your knees, between your knees. You're going to place it behind your knees, between your calves and your hamstrings. And then we're just sitting into that position. And you'll feel immediately that's getting a little bit of a stretch in the calf muscles there. So I don't want to hit the cat in the face, so I'm going to shimmy around here. What we're going to do is you're going to apply a little bit of pressure. Now, you don't want to apply so much pressure that your calves are screaming at you. Okay, we want your calves to talk to you. You want to feel, you want it to feel good. Okay. Chester's eating the dowel now, so I don't know if that's good for you, sweetheart. I don't know if that's good. So we're going to place a little bit of pressure so that our calves are happy, feeling good, and then we're just going to gently rock side to side. So as you rock from side to side, you'll get a little more intense on the side you're rocking to, and then we're going to roll the stick back. Okay, got to be careful not to roll either your skin or your leggings with it, but you can just gently roll it back slightly and then work at another spot. You can keep rolling it as you rock from side to side. If you find a particularly tight spot, you can hang out there for a while. I feel like I need to do this for about 5 minutes. This is definitely a tight area for me, especially I do a lot of walking and the calves can get really tight. If you're a runner as well, again, this can be This can be a game changer for your forward fold. So we're just keeping rolling that down. You can go a little faster than I am if you want, but we're just going all the way down until we get right down to the ankles. And again, nothing should feel painful here, okay? I'm not, right? I'm not pulling my pain face. It's a nice feeling. It's like a nice massage. As I'm rolling, I keep rolling all the way down until I get to the ankles. Good. And I'm just going to do this once. You can do it a few times, depending on how tight you're feeling. But once for me, that's good enough. So we're going to put the stick aside and we're going to move into our calf stretch. So we're going to do our standing calf stretch here. Now I'm using this little parallel. You can use a step or a stair. And you want something for support so that you can be nice and stable as you're doing this, because part of the goal is to be able to relax into the stretch. So the position of your foot is really important. So I can have my foot straight with my foot in line with my heel. I can have it slightly turned in, or I can have it slightly turned out. And each of those will just hit a slightly different line of our calves. And you want to just find the line of tension that is most restricted for you and work on that first. So I'm just going to go with my foot straight. I'm going to step up onto here and let my heel drop down. Now I'm using my other foot here just for a little bit of balance, but it's not really supporting me. I could lift it off, but I just want to be a little more stable here so that I can really relax and get deeper into the stretch. And I'm just letting my heel drop down as far as it can. And I'm feeling a nice stretch. As with any stretching, you don't want any pain, okay? You want mild discomfort, that nice stretching sensation. And in this position, I'm just now feeling where I'm feeling the tightness, what I'm feeling, and seeing if I can relax a little bit more. Okay, these three things are super important when you're doing your stretching. Just want to bring awareness to the area. Now you'll notice I'm wearing my Vivo barefoot shoes here. Mostly I'm wearing shoes because it would be quite uncomfortable to do this barefoot, but you can do it barefoot as long as it feels okay on your foot. I usually like to wear shoes though when I'm doing a calf stretch. Just feels better on the sole of my foot as I'm doing it. So we're going to hold this for a couple of minutes. I'm just going to hang out here. The calf muscle is quite a dense muscle. It's quite a dense muscle, so it can take a while. And Chester, my sidekick for this video, has decided to go in the litter tray right now. So I apologize if you can hear her in the litter tray. It's very unprofessional. I always wait until I'm done filming before I use the litter tray. So letting that relax. Okay, we're going to do our contract relax. So for this, what we're going to do is we're actually going to push down with my foot into the floor. So I'm like pushing down almost as if I'm trying to do a calf raise, but I'm resisting it as well. So it's this isometric contraction where I'm tightening, contracting the calf muscle that I'm trying to stretch. So I'm contracting, and I'm also contracting further up my leg. And you can start nice and gentle with the contraction. So you're pushing your foot down nice and gently, slowly increasing for about 10 seconds, and then try to slowly relax that. And as you relax, you'll find you can sink a little bit deeper. And that's part of the reason we do this contract relax. You contract the muscle tightly, and it allows you to get a little bit more relaxation afterwards. And then you find you can sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Good, and we'll just hold that for about 30 seconds. Then we're going to switch sides. Perfect. So switching to the other foot. Just letting our heel drop. You'll really notice now the difference in tension between the two sides. And we're just letting our heel drop. And again, this is about we move slowly into the position. We focus on what are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? Right? Is it that nice stretching sensation? If so, that's perfect. Are you feeling any pain? If you are, let's not do that. Let's find a position that is not painful or go get it checked out if it's a reoccurring issue. I had a word with Chester before we started this about professionalism, performing for the camera. She's like, she took none of it in. None of it, right, Chester? You know, come up in the chair. Up, up, up. Up, up, up. Oh, good go. Feet up. Oh, she's not well trained enough. That's what happens if you don't pay attention to what you're doing. Right, Chester? Okay, so I'm supposed to be focusing on my calf stretch, letting my heel drop down, sink deeper. And that's actually one reason why I suggest to people they don't do their stretching, you know, while they're watching Netflix or while they're doing something else, right? You want to be paying attention to the areas of your body that you're trying to stretch. Otherwise, you'll lose your balance and you'll fall off, right? So now we're going to contract. So you're going to push down with your foot, create that contraction in your calf muscle, the back of your legs, starting gently, ramping it up to about 40, 50, 60, 70, 100%, pushing down as hard as you can. And then slowly release that. So this idea with the contraction is you start gently. You increase, and then when you're ready to release it, again, you don't just let it go. You slowly release that tension. Take a nice deep breath and see if you can sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Okay, so the sequence that we're doing here, we're doing about a 2-minute hold. We're doing a contract, relax, and then we're doing about another 30-second hold. Now you could repeat that contract, relax, and the hold for 2 to 3 times as you're doing this. You can spend, you know, sometimes with the calf stretch, I'll spend 5 minutes in the position doing a combination of the static stretching and contract, relax. As I said, the calf muscle is really dense, and so it can really benefit from a decent amount of time spent in this position. And just a couple more breaths. Perfect. Okay, so we did our soft tissue work. We did our stretching. We're now going to do a little bit of strengthening of the calf muscles. So we're going to strengthen our calf muscle through their full range of motion. And we're going to do this in a forward fold position, which is pretty challenging. So if this is too intense, you can actually do exactly the same exercise in a standing position. Okay, so don't feel like you have to do the same as what I'm doing here. Again, I'm using a P-bar and I'm using another P-bar for support. You can do this on a step or a stair, anything that you can let your heels come down to get that full range of motion. Okay, so what we're going to do is, standing in this position, you're going to let your heels drop, and then we're going to calf raise. So we're going to push up to a full calf raise, slowly lower down. And we're going to hold for 3 seconds here. 1, 2, 3. We're going to push up. 1, 2, 3. Now what I want you to notice, so I come down, I'm in that stretch position. As I push up, I actually move more into a squish position. So I'm not letting my body lift up and down. I'm actually pulling my upper body down as I push up. So 1, 2, 3. Let my heels drop. 1, 2, 3. Going down. 1, 2, 3. And you can do this with your hands on the floor, depending on how flexible you are, or you can place your hands on a higher object. So this is just a nice support. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we use this exercise to really strengthen our calves through their full range of motion. Now you can do 3 sets, up to 3 sets of about 5 reps, 3 seconds hold in each position. And once you're done that, you're ready to do your retest. So after doing our soft tissue work, our stretches, and then our strength work, I'm just going to retest my forward fold. And now I can not only get much further in the position, but I'm actually not feeling a stretch in my calf muscles. I'm feeling a stretch in my hamstrings, through the back of my glutes and through my lower back. So I've really opened up the calf muscles and I'm allowing myself to get into a stretch in those other areas. Just meow. So Chester says, we really hope that that routine helped you as much as it helped me. And if you enjoyed that video, please give it a like and a subscribe. Chester gets really happy when people subscribe. You should hear she's meowing all over the place. So please give us a like, give us a subscribe, and Chester and I will see you next time. Right, Chester? You come say hi. Come say goodbye. You say goodbye?